biggest change. This is our biggest change in 50 years. You want to know my thoughts? Stay tuned to the end. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm at the grocery store. You know what that means. I gotta go to work. So I'm just getting some things before I head out. I have to be out the door at 11:50. It's 11. So let's go. When do your kids go back to school? Mine go back in a month, August 14th or something like that. But I love the smell of crayons. They are going back to school so soon. The big girls are in Minnesota with their mom right now, and then they should be back next week. So it's almost time. So all the school stuff is out. I need to go shopping with Hannah. I want to compare prices. You know, every penny counts. I had to come out and water my garden. So that's one less thing my husband has to do when I'm gone. I've got the garden down there and I've got some potatoes in a bucket. I didn't think it was gonna work, so I put a lot of potatoes in there. Does anyone out there garden, and what are you guys growing? I am growing pickling cucumbers, which I put seeds in the beds. So hopefully they'll have a long enough season. We don't have a super long season in Colorado. I've got regular cucumbers from my neighbor, a tomato plant snuck in there, cauliflower and broccoli, and then there's a cayenne pepper. And then my husband's oldest daughter gave me some garlic seeds, and I started those. Look, the cats are down here waiting for me. I'm gonna go upstairs, move please, and pack up my food bag. On my way to the airport, and I have flown this month, but I did not vlog it. This month, July, was going to be super brutal. I bid for a back-to-back 2-day line, so today is Friday to Saturday, come home tomorrow. Then I was scheduled to fly Sunday, Monday to LaGuardia. Now, I bid for this line specifically to give the LaGuardias away, because it's a really nice overnight. You're like, Elizabeth, why would you do that? Because I was trying to lighten my workload for the month of July. I don't have vacation. I had vacation in June, and I was able to use that to my advantage and not fly very much. So I had to fly the first pair, and I was getting nervous because no one's been picking stuff up because the company keeps offering overtime. But people started picking up my LaGuardias. I have one more LaGuardia to go, so I will take you to that one, and I will show you recaps of LaGuardia of last week. But it was having me work like way more than I normally work. All that to say, I'm happy I was able to start giving some of those away. I did put $30 on them. One person hasn't contacted me, so I need to contact them and say, hey, do you want your $30? Because you don't want your name getting on the doesn't pay list. The first person who picked it up, she picked it up at 3:45 in the morning, and I just happened to get up to use the bathroom, and I looked at my phone and I saw the text message, so I paid her like right away. But the second person, I don't know, they have not contacted me, so I need to reach out to them. And you're kind of like, but Elizabeth, if they wanted their money, they would text you. And I did double check and I did get my number right. So it's not me. I don't know. Maybe they're busy. We'll find out. But I'm headed to the airport and I cannot remember where I'm going. To Cincinnati? Cleveland? I think we're going to Cleveland. I'm going to tell you about my first two days and how that went. And I have some funny stories from that. And then we'll do this thing. It's going to be a weird month. It's going to be a weird month. We're going to get through it. Let's go. We're in the glorious landside parking lot. It is 90. Oh, my car just switched to 100. Let's see what my watch says. 96. It's hot. So the heat wave in the country caught up with us. It's been such a lovely summer. I'm not a big heat girl, but it's been pretty nice. When I was in New York last weekend, it was 91 or 93 and I was walking around sweating. And a lot of the stores that I would go into had a really hard time keeping up with the heat. It's pretty warm for them. And it just made me think of like Mad Men and all those shows from the 50s where I think it's primarily in August, but in the summer, everyone used to like go to the Hamptons because the city got too hot before central air. But all right, we're in the parking lot. Let's go. On the plane and got all my checks done. Ops went to make their announcements and start boarding. Look, it's our new snacks, but there is one bag, so we're not gonna be serving them on this flight, and the rest are all the old snacks. So the new snacks are coming. They're okay. I'm not a big sweet and savory person, and they're like a sweet onion pretzel. That means it's time to board, so I'll see you. We're going to Atlanta first. In Atlanta. Cleveland. We're in Cleveland. And the first thing I had to do was turn that sucker down. 72 degrees will not do. So I am about to microwave my dinner. I brought some leftover Chinese food. And I unpacked my food bag. And then I'm ready to sit down and do some relaxing. So I'm gonna change. Okay, I got my food out of the microwave. I'm gonna eat that real quick. But I thought I'd tell you, today ended up being a 10-hour and 7-minute duty day. We did get what's called overfly on our flight from Atlanta to Baltimore. We had to dodge around some weather, not from Atlanta. I actually didn't look on the map to see where we were dodging weather, but we ended up having 0.4 of overfly, so that's 40 minutes, I think. Let's say, okay, so this month, the month of July, I bid for two days back to back. And so what that means is that this trip, Friday, Saturday is Cleveland, then I sleep at home on Saturday night, and then I'm supposed to go out on Sunday to Monday to LaGuardia for 21 and a half hour overnight in LaGuardia. And I specifically picked up this 2-day back-to-back for the sole purpose of getting rid of all the LaGuardia flying. I love going to LaGuardia. I love taking you to LaGuardia, but I figured they would be easy to get rid of. And so that's why I did this. And so far I worked one, I got rid of 2, and then I'm gonna work one more. But so this whole month we're gonna be in Cleveland and LaGuardia. My first 2-day to start the month off was the 5th and the 6th of July. I was so tired on the 5th after, we always have a big block party with my street, and so we partied and shot fireworks off and all that kind of jazz. I worked 1 to Tampa, and Clint and Hannah came with me, And Clint actually rented a car and they were on my flight to Tampa, so Hannah loved that. And then we took the car to Clearwater Beach, Florida the next day. Actually, that night we went to Kura Sushi, which is one of my favorites. And then the next day we went to Clearwater. It's not close. It's like a 40-minute drive, and then we'd eat breakfast and we slept in a little bit. So we only got to spend maybe 2 hours at the beach, but it was perfect. And then we went back and we just cleaned ourselves up, and then they had to do a connecting flight to get back to Denver, and I worked 2 back to Denver. Tampa to San Diego, which was such a long flight, 5 hours, and then San Diego to Denver. And then I had the LaGuardia overnight. I had a good time, walked around, and it was warm. It was like 91 degrees. I think I said this in the car. The air conditioning was having a hard time keeping up in a lot of the places. But I'm excited. I only have to work this 2 day, and then I'm off for 5 days until we come back to Cleveland next Friday. So I am going to eat my food and I'm going to rest. I'm tired. And we're going to see what happens tomorrow. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Let's see if I can get this open. It was giving me trouble last night. Hold on. I just opened my window. Lake Erie is right there. Holy crap. I didn't know it was so close, you guys. Oh man, now I feel bad. I gotta see what time it is. Maybe we can make it out there. What? Oh, look. There's a fountain. I had no clue. It's pretty late. We might have to do exploring next week because your girl stayed up late. And now I'm gonna make coffee. I need coffee first. I gotta tell you a funny story from my trip last week. I am so shocked at the view out my room. I swear I've been to Cleveland before, but I know I've never been to this hotel, and apparently we've been at this hotel a long time. I just want to sit here and look at Lake Erie. There are some sailboats out there. It's air conditioned in here. But dang, your girl is shook. I'm gonna be here all month. This is my first time to Cleveland. We're gonna be here 4 times. I'm surprised. I'm so surprised. But I wanted to tell you a hilarious story from my last LaGuardia trip. So it was hot. I told you guys that last night. It was like 93. So I went walking around anyways, and one of my goals was soup dumplings. I needed soup dumplings. So I did find soup dumplings, and they were pretty good. And after I got soup dumplings, I found Rockefeller Plaza, and it was in the summertime. There's no ice there, obviously. So they had like a green space that had some things on it that kids could you could run around. There was photo opportunities, and then there's stores around it. And then I didn't even know, underneath, you can go underneath at Rockefeller Plaza, and there was restaurants. I took a brochure for a place that has lobster rolls. Every time I go to New York, I discover something different. It's like every time I go to a city, it's a bite. I can't do 5 things. I can't do 8 things. I can barely do 2 things. So you have to do just a little appetizer at a time every time you're in the city. So this is our appetizer looking out the window, but in New York. So then I got a chocolate chip cookie from this place, and it was huge. And really thick, and it was like $5.88 or something with tax. And I was kind of nibbling on it in the bag. And then I went and did some more shopping. I stopped by Nintendo. They have a Nintendo store in that area. I went to Fifth Avenue, just tons of different shops. And then I went into Saks Fifth Avenue, and I had this wild idea. I had this old lipstick. Ladies out there who know that they find a lipstick they like that Chanel supposedly discontinued, so I was gonna go up and see if Chanel had it or what was going on. And it looks like they reintroduced the line, and no one talked to me at Chanel. I don't know if they saw me because it was kind of a deep area, and I don't think the ladies actually saw me. And I walked around, I went up to the women's department, and I was just, everyone was having sales because it was right after the 4th of July. I didn't buy anything.
I was texting all my girlfriends and I was like, aha, I'm at Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm wearing shorts I bought at Sam's Club and a shirt from TikTok shop. I get back to my hotel and I had chocolate on my chin. I didn't look in any mirrors. And I had just been periodically taking bites of the chocolate chip cookie and I had chocolate on my chin. Lassie. I mean, I thought that was really funny. I walked around, New York City a little bit. We've taken you to Times Square. We've been to a show. We've been to Central Park. And so we'll have to figure out, I have one more layover in LaGuardia and my family wants to come. We're gonna see if that works because if you remember, those rooms are not big. So even if I got 2 doubles, we'd have to bring a twin air mattress for one of the kids. And then it's the fight over who sleeps on the air mattress. I don't know. All that to say, I had chocolate on my chin. So I'm just sitting here, I've got my coffee. I haven't brought my creamer this month. I forgot it on my first trip. And then I seriously contemplated bringing it, but I was like, do I really want to take up the space in my food bag? It's one day, but I'm kind of missing my creamer. I don't know. It's like 1 o'clock. I have to be downstairs 3:15. So I'm not feeling very motivated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. But this is sometimes just life. Flight attendant life. I don't want to go do anything. I just want to sit here. We'll see. We're going for a walk. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go outside because I can't complain when it's winter and I can't go anywhere. We're going. Do you ever forget which way the elevators are? I do all the time. We're gonna do it. We're gonna walk for a little bit, probably 45 minutes, go out. I don't think I'm gonna make it to the water, but remember, this is just number 1. We're gonna be back here next week. We can go to the water. I guess it's a science museum or something across there. My husband's like, go. I was like, I don't really have time. So I'm gonna make a pinky promise to you that next week I will not stay up till 3 a.m. I had no idea. Let's go, Cleveland. So I'm out walking and my husband's like, you need to go out, you need to shoot video. But I can't shoot video if I'm talking to him on the phone. And he's like, you need to bring the microphones I bought for you because it's windy. It's a little bit breezy out, which feels wonderful, but can sound awful. So, here we go. This is a funny errand. We're headed to a Dollar General. Because they don't have those really close to me in Denver, and also there's a mall over here, so we're doing easy today. And next time, I guess it's a science center or something over by the water. We'll have to try that one of these Saturdays we're here, but it feels really nice, so we're walking. So the problem with downtown's kind of like here so far that I'm finding out is that everything's pretty much closed because it's a Saturday. So it's a Dollar General Express, so it wasn't very big. Oh well, we're gonna learn. And I think the mall is pretty much one of those, malls are dead kind of situation. So I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts, get some coffee. I got some Dunkin'. Just 5 little donut holes in an iced coffee. I'm coming up on that mall that all the photos on like Yelp are empty stores. If anyone out there needs to shoot a like apocalyptic movie, you could cut off the streets here on a Saturday real easy. I love those movies, the zombie movies. That's the mall. I'm back in my room. Was Cleveland a bust? I don't think so. We're gonna give it another whirl next week. And before you come at me about my coffee, it's sugar-free, and I'm about to put chocolate protein in it, and I only got 5 donut holes. Right when I was gonna go and post this video, my carrier went ahead and is flipping the script, changing everything.
50 years of open seating is going to be gone in 2025. Let's talk about it. So if you know who I work for, the Love Airline, I know most of you know it. I don't usually say it because my opinions are my own, but we're going to talk about the fact that my carrier has always had open seating and we're switching to assigned seating in 2025. There are definitely going to be pros and there's definitely going to be cons. So let me tell you some of the motivation I think that the airline has behind this change. Number one, money. So we are going to introduce some sort of premium seating, which means they're going to reshuffle the cabin in some way to give extra leg room. Now, right now we have the largest pitch. That's the distance between the back of one person's seat and your seat. So we have the largest pitch right now in the industry. So they're going to be making some changes on the plane, probably while they introduce those new seats. If you saw that press release earlier in the year, they're going to look like this. So probably while they swap out the seats is when this whole premium seating thing will happen. I kind of wonder if assigned seating will happen before premium seating happens, because it takes quite a while to outfit an entire fleet with a new configuration in the cabin. Now, there will not be first class, there will not be business class. There's just going to be extra legroom from what I understand. So there will be a charge for that premium seating. My question is, are we going to charge just for you to pick any other seat? So let's say you're not interested at all in premium seating. You just want to be able to choose a seat for you and your spouse or you and your family. Will there be a charge for that? I don't know. What will that charge look like? I don't know. Is it an opportunity for Southwest to grab at money? Absolutely. It just is. So that's going to be a pro and a con. A con because it's going to could cost you some more. A pro because you will know without a shadow of a doubt when you get on that plane that you get to sit next to your spouse or your kid. So money is the number one, I think, motivating factor. A close second is probably our pre-boarding situation. Now let me say this. If you need to pre-board for legitimate medical reasons, this is absolutely not directed at you. But we have a situation. We have an issue. It is not unheard of for us to have a dozen wheelchairs, people who need to go down the jet bridge in a wheelchair to get a specific seat on the aircraft. Now, again, if you need wheelchair assistance, I have no issues with that. My father needs wheelchair assistance. But there are people who use our pre-boarding policy just to get on before everyone else to make sure that they get their premium seat, whatever seat that they want. That could be the bulkhead, which is that first row of seats that, again, could just guarantee them a window or an aisle. Now, we have something we jokingly call Jetway Jesus. And that is when we have 12 people need to come down in wheelchairs and half or more of them be able to jump out of their seats when we get to our final destination and walk off the plane. It's kind of a joke. We call it Jetway Jesus, but I do think this is the number 2 reason that we are going to switch to assigned seating. So here is the pro. I think it will eliminate Jetway Jesus because when you purchase your ticket and you pick your seat, you could be in the very last row and you have every right to pre-board, but you will have to go to your seat. You'll not be able to just take that bulkhead seat. The con for that is for people who truly need a specific seat. Maybe they need an aisle seat near a bathroom. In that bathroom, remember, there's bathrooms in the front and the back. When they go to purchase their ticket, the seat that they need might already be purchased. So that is definitely going to be a con for people who need specific seats. If you book last minute, that seat might not be available, but it will definitely reduce the abuse of our pre-boarding process. Number 3, recently there's been some rules about us being able to accommodate children 13 and under to sit with their parents. Well, typically family boarding for us is by the books 6 and under. That doesn't help with that rule. So if you have C60 and your 10-year-old has C61 or C59, there is very little chance on a full flight you're going to be able to get a seat together. So at the last minute, my work group as flight attendants is scrambling to figure out how to get you guys to sit together. And a lot of times we're really fast at it. We offer somebody a drink, we do a little shuffling. In the past week or so with completely full flights, I've been able to make this happen. But I do think that this will help people who have families who want to know ahead of time that they have seats. This will eliminate that stress for them. For others, you know, they love our open seating policy because they have a group of 20 and they come to the back of the plane and save seats, because there is no policy right now about saving seats. I tell people if you get in a fight, then everybody's getting off the plane. So make it work. There already are mixed reviews online. If you've seen any posts about this and you read through the comments, people are like, that's the only reason I fly you. That's the only reason I don't fly you. I mean, it is going to be a learning curve. It's going to be interesting. I really do hope that our hospitality and our love comes through, that our service will overshadow this change in policy, and we'll just see. We have no idea, but I would rather they do this than start charging for bags, because if they start charging for bags, people are going to bring even more carry-ons on the aircraft, which is already an issue. So I need to know in the comments, are you for it? Are you against it? Give me your opinions. I would love to hear them. It's going to be an interesting 2025 to see how this rolls out. I do think that they're going to roll out the cabin configuration and what that all looks like at our annual party in September, because that's when they say that there's going to be more details available, is in September. So stay tuned. We're going to get more information. But if you haven't hit like, if you haven't hit subscribe, we're so close to 2,000 subscribers. So I need you to hit subscribe. I also need you to tell me your thoughts on this change. And next time, I'll see you in the sky.